Can imagine with this type of scene, there are plenty of people outside themselves wanting to know what's going on, and every single one of them told me that they always see dogs. They're familiar with the aggressive dogs. They see dogs all the time. But one neighbor in particular actually told me that she's familiar with the house, and that specifically those dogs have been there for a while, but she says that she believes no one lives in the home, and that a man often comes back to the home, a man who used to live in the home often comes back to the area to check on the dogs periodically. But again, that she believes no one lives in the home, and that a man moved out of the home where the dogs are about a year or so ago. So at this time, again, authorities have confirmed one person is after an attack with the dogs. I'm just going to step out of the way just a little bit here so you can just very clearly see what we are seeing so far. You know, you can see a heavy authority presence in the area, and they're bringing dogs out still at this time. And this scene has been active again for a couple hours.
All to by a pack of dogs in Compton.
The victim's body was found in a backyard kennel area surrounded by animals. KTLA5's Kimberly Chang has been following the latest development. She's live in Downey with an update.
Hi, detectives say the 35-year-old victim was killed by his own dogs. 13 of them were taken from his home in Compton and are now in the custody of LA County Animal Care and Control. Take a look at video from Sky 5 this morning. Tense moments as a woman was seen climbing a fence and crawling over to firefighters who helped her down. Several dogs, which appeared to be pit bulls, were seen loose in the yard below. According to the LA County Sheriff's Department, a male resident was attacked by the pit bulls at this property on Thorson Avenue near Rosecrans.
There's a lot of dogs. There's a lot of dogs.
Video showed his body covered in laying in one of several kennels in the yard. Detectives said the man may have been attacked yesterday around 7:30 to 8 p.m., but his body was not discovered until this morning when a concerned friend came to check on him because she couldn't get a hold of him. Neighbors say they've seen loose pit bulls running in the street before, but didn't know who they belonged to.
We had no idea that they lived there, but apparently I chased them twice. They were just, roaming around here.
This should have never happened. This time it happened to the owner of the dogs, but normally it happens to children, elderly, defenseless people, and somebody definitely needs to be held accountable for this.
Video from a neighbor shows the dogs as they were taken from the home and loaded onto an LA County animal care vehicle. There are cameras around the home, and investigators reviewed the footage to determine what happened.
From my understanding and based on those that have reviewed the video, it's believed that he was feeding the dogs, at which point maybe there was an altercation between some of the dogs and then ultimately and the victim.
Animal care officials said preliminary information suggests that the man who died may have been breeding and selling pit bulls. They're going to do their own investigation to determine what will happen to the dogs. Reporting here in Downey, Kimberly Chang, KT.
Shalom, shalom. HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great master and teacher move well. Peace and salutations to be to hopeful elect. My brother Tazwan, coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Alright, this lesson is going to be going into this incident where this guy's own pit bulls mauled him to death. It says they killed him. She found her boyfriend's body in the backyard after his own pit bulls killed him. So we're gonna go into spirits created for vengeance off of this, man. In the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39. In verse 28, it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. So there be spirits spiritual demons and whatnot left inside of demons. They're created to take vengeance on those that do wickedly, man. Okay. And what does the Lord do? He causes them to possess something on the earth, to sow judgment in the earth, man. Okay. So in this case, these spirits possess the man's pit bulls. You know, pit bulls are strong dogs. I have a pit bull myself, and it takes a lot of strength to restrain such a dog, man. Okay, but he had multiple. Okay, so imagine it takes a lot of strength to restrain one of those big ass dogs. How much more, you know, maybe 2 or 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them. Okay, that's you're going to get overwhelmed. And then they got teeth. Okay, these teeth are weapons. Okay, it's like many little knives latching onto you with great strength. Okay, and it's hard to get out of it. You're getting chomped on, man. So this guy got mauled to death by his own dogs. And that's a judgment, because it's your dogs, and you think your dogs trust you, and you trust your dogs. You've been feeding them and raising them up just for them to, you know, take you out in the end, man. Okay, you thinking that's a good dog, that's a good boy, until that good boy becomes a bad boy. Okay, and everything is subject to this, possession of spirits, man. Okay, whether it be the QADASH possession or demonic possession, man. So, especially these animals, they don't have any real will, will of their own. Okay, they don't have any will to fight against spiritual battles, that matter. They're susceptible to it no matter what. So these dogs were possessed by these spirits that were created for vengeance, and took vengeance upon their owner, which the Lord had it out for him, man. The Lord had it out with this guy. And when the Lord's got it out for you, all things are working against you. Okay? Because the Lord created all things. Even your own health may work against you. Okay, but it's all for judgment's sake. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force. And what does that mean, in the time of their destruction? So the time of their destruction meaning the time when it's time for them to get down. Okay, so the Lord has appointed a time for those spirits to attack. And that time was then in his backyard. They attacked by leaping onto those pit bulls. And, they got vicious with him and ended up attacking him and killed him. Okay. It says, to be torn by dogs is a sore judgment, man. We know that Jezebel in the scriptures was torn by dogs. All right. And it's a sore judgment, because you're watching your body getting torn off, getting ripped apart, by the teeth of wild beasts, or the teeth of a beast. Domesticated beasts. Pit bulls are beasts, man. Okay, all animals are beasts. But you're trying to domesticate a strong beast. A pit bull is one of the strongest domesticated animals. Okay. And they're trying to domesticate them, like pretty much make him a house pet. Okay, but there's a reason they're usually kept in the yard, kept in the backyard or the front, because they're too damn big. They're too strong. Their nails, their teeth, everything about them, their muscles, their force. These dogs have force to them, man. Okay. I was actually holding my pit bull. I think it was like 2 nights ago, or last night. I was holding him last night. And he was meeting another dog so he can mate or whatever. But he was so intrigued by the other dog that he started to leap. Like he tried to leap towards it. And I was trying with all my might to hold this damn dog down, man. But he would do random outbursts and random jumps where you wouldn't expect it. This damn dog threw my damn face into a fence, man. And I got a bruise on my head because he's so damn strong. Like he jumped into the fence and the fence snapped back and hit me in the head. I was like, damn, this dog, man. I need to put on some You know, I had on some slides. I said, I need to put on some tennis shoes, and this is going to be a workout. You know, it's like you're going to the gym, you're doing squats or some shit. You're handling a heavy weight because these dogs have force to them. But when a spirit, an evil spirit, or a spirit created for vengeance possesses them, you're even more in trouble. You know, because them demons, when the demon possesses anything, it amplifies its strength. You see these movies, these people get possessed, and they leaping across the fucking house or something. Okay, the strength was amplified by the demons, the demonic force. It says, or even when Samson himself, he was possessed by the QADASH. The scriptures say the spirit came heavily upon him, and the chains that was on him melted. You know, pretty much he broke through iron bands, man. You know. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So if they're appeasing, and we're going to the definition of appease. It says here in the book of, also like in a book, it says appease. It says pacify or placate someone by acceding to their demands. To pacify is pretty much, right here, the second definition says to relieve or satisfy. So it's to pacify something is to quiet it down. Like when you pacify a baby, you stop her from crying, okay? Or him from crying. All right, but the second definition says to relieve or satisfy. So they satisfy the Lord when they do these things. That is a righteous judgment on the side of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. And his anger calms down when these demons handle business for him, man. So it says, and appease the wrath of him that made them. So they're just doing the work of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Okay, can't really be mad at the beast. The beast was possessed to do the will of the Lord. If it wasn't the will of the Lord, it wouldn't have happened. Okay. Let's grab this. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, and verse 3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. So what? Of this guy was appointed one of those 4 kinds, the dogs to tear, man. Okay. The dogs tore this guy, man. And dogs would be considered beasts as well, man. Okay, but in this case, beasts talking about like the bears in the woods, the coyotes, the wolves, the lions, the wild animals, man. But hey, the dogs are tearing at you. And you ever see a dog tear something and they latch onto it and they start shaking their head like that's them tearing. Okay, when they were attacking viciously, I seen this dog get attacked viciously not too long ago, and it was a big ass pit bull on him, and he pretty much lashed on him. He had him by the neck, and he was like shaking his head, and that's the dog tearing, man. Okay, tearing at his flesh. And that's what happened to that dude, man, who passed away. He was taken out by his own pit bulls, his own animals that he loved, man. Okay, they were tearing at his flesh and put him to death. But it wasn't the pit bulls who planned this up. I said, hey, let's take this nigga out today, y'all. No, man, it was the spirits. All of the spirits that were on those dogs were spirits sent from the Lord, YAHAWASHI, who had that meeting in heaven and said, all right, we're going to take this nigga out on this day. And the Lord said, okay, it is good in my sight. Let it be done. And then what? They were sent down, and they all possessed a dog, and all those dogs did what? They got the business, man. Okay, so it wasn't the dogs; it was demons that was taking you out. They just used dogs to do it. It says, "And the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven." And the fowls of heaven usually come after the death, man. Okay, they come to eat the body off the floor, eat the deceased off the floor, man, to clean up the earth. It says, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. So Salakia says to devour and destroy. That's what they do, man. Devour and destroy. You ever seen a bear break into a house? He gets in there and destroys shit. He starts knocking things down. Okay. And these animals are vicious. These ain't just friendly animals. These are vicious wild beasts. That's why the scripture calls them wild beasts to destroy, wild beasts to devour. Let me see. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 22. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children. Children are very susceptible to beasts. They're smaller. They ain't really got much strength or much of wits or knowledge or wisdom to avoid situations with beasts. Their legs are smaller, the muscles are smaller. They can't run fast enough to outrun a beast if possible. You know, there's not many people who can outrun a beast, but you have better chance if you have an adult body. You know, it says, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. Why were the highways desolate? Because the beasts were roaming them, man. Okay, when the Lord sent beasts into a city, okay, guess what? It was judgment time. You knew that it was judgment time. And the Lord had given the victory into the hands of the beasts. Okay, meaning you can't just overcome them naturally. All right, these beasts have some unnatural victory over you. Okay, and you try to go toe-to-toe with a coyote or a wolf, whatever it may be. Chances are the coyote or wolf is most likely to win because the Lord had gave the victory to their hands. He had sent them in there to destroy, devour, man. Okay. Now, unless you were one of the Lord's servants, you ain't gonna be safe from them beasts, man. He had the Lord had the highways desolate because everybody was hiding inside from the beasts. Ain't no more outside time for y'all. The Lord took away their playground time, man. You know, the free time. But you got free time after lunch in elementary school. And the Lord took that away from Jake, man. You know, they had to hide in the house. They were grounded, so to say, on punishment. You come outside, you die. All right, beasts be sitting right there by your door waiting on you to come outside. And as soon as you do, you lunch meat, man. But all right, that's all we're going to touch on this one, man. That I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you, Akim and Agwath. Listen in truth and sincerity. Until next time, I give all glory, honor, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.